Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today I want to talk about a data mine that really, I think, shows or potentially tips Scopely's hand here regarding this apocalypse thing. So, look, everybody, the Darkhold is in the game. People are excited about it. It's a new, powerful team. That is exciting. But I don't want us to distract ourselves from the bigger issue here. I mean, I think it's cool that we're getting this team. Doctor Strange Heartless looks really cool. Great animations, cool character. I'm glad that you'll get him in a campaign. I'm also glad about the recent news that Morgan Le Fay is a 3-star unlock. That's great. But what I said at the time was I was worried because I had a theory, and this is just a theory. I don't know it, but I would say a theory, a concern that even though Morgan is a 3-star unlock, that the subsequent horsemen are going to be harder. And one thing we do know for sure from the original blog that announced the Apocalypse character coming to the game is that it says, and I'm going to show you here, to even have hope of finding Apocalypse, you must first discover and recruit the 4 legendary horsemen. So you need to have all 4 horsemen to get Apocalypse. But what we don't know is how big of a horseman you need. And so let me just say that the fact that you get her unlocked at 3 stars is cool. But what we don't know is what is it going to take to unlock her at 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars, right? Because you're going to need the 4 horsemen, but we don't know how high of stars you need on the horsemen to get there. You know, the fact is when they came out with more details regarding the horsemen, there actually was what I would say is a tease of the future here, right? So this is when they introduced her as the first horseman, they said, oh, we're going to have all these difficulties, and they're going to get higher and higher and higher as we introduce more gear tiers. So in the beginning, you know, we might only be able to get to gear tier 6, 7, maybe 8, because these are recommended gear tiers, and we only have gear tier 16 in the game. But eventually, we're going to be up to this difficulty. Well, you may say, wait, Philosopher, does this mean no one's going to unlock her at above, 3, 4, 5 stars? No one's going to get a 7-star Morgan Le Fay at first? Oh, no. That's not how this is going to work, because they said it clearly, and they showed us images of how this is going to work. For the first time, you don't know whether or not you're going to get Morgan Le Fay at 7 stars, right? In other words, for prior legendaries, if I got my X Factor plus Jubilee to 7 stars, I knew I was going to get a 7 and got the gear on them that I needed. I knew I'd get a 7-star Adam Warlock, for example. But now I have a leaderboard, right? I'm competing against everybody else in the game to see how big of a Morgan Le Fay I get. And so they're going to gate the number of people who get a 7-star Morgan Le Fay. Now, we have, less than 200 people in the game who have Dormammu right now, even though he's already getting power crept by this new team. How many 7-star Morgan Le Fays do you think they're going to give out? 10? 20? 30? 100? I will say this. It's enough that almost all of the people viewing this video probably won't get a 7-star Morgan Le Fay. But we don't even know. There's no way of knowing how to guarantee yourself that character. And what you don't know also is what you're going to need for Apocalypse. But we learned something from a data mine that I think gives us a clue. So I'm going to show it to you right now. This is a data mine that came out today. We don't know exactly what this means, but this is inside the game. It was data mined. It's on the official Marvel Strike Force data mining folder. It says Apocalypse, base key Apocalypse, Blacklist Mode 2, hero gear tier data average, hero size medium. In other words, the size I think of the unit in the game. Hero stat template average, ID Apocalypse, picture, portrait, Kree, control assist, player character, false, unlock star level 7. So here's what we don't know. Is this a character for an event? Like, is this the Apocalypse that appears within the Morgan event in some way? Like you have to defeat him in the final node? Or is this the unlock that we will be having for Apocalypse? In other words, is Apocalypse a 7-star unlock? Or is this just for an NPC Apocalypse? We don't know. But this last line where it says 7-star Apocalypse has me concerned. Because right now we don't know what it's going to take to unlock Apocalypse. And couldn't you see Scopely potentially having a situation where they make the unlocks harder and harder as time goes on? Where you have a 3-star Morgan, then the next Horseman requires 4 stars to unlock, then the next one 5, then the next one 6. And then, you're in a situation where you got free-to-play, got the first 2 Horsemen. You're like, oh, man, I need to spend some money to get the third. I guess I'll do it because I got the first 2, right? It gets you in the mode of you feel like you have to have the whole team. And then, the last one is super gated. You can't unlock it until it's 6 stars, and you have to spend a good amount of money, and more people get excited, and they spend their money to get their 6-star unlock. And then after all that, you don't even get Apocalypse because it's a 7-star unlock. I don't know what the truth is. I mean, this Datamine to me is just a data point. You can interpret it a couple different ways. I hope this is just an NPC. The fact that the official Discord, which is controlled by Scopely now, put this out in their feed, and you can find it on my Discord, which is linked below. The feed is right there, the Datamine feed. It tells me they want us to know this. They want us to see the Datamine. I don't know what to make of it. But it's obviously concerning because right now so much is up in the air for characters and for players, right? As a player, when you're dealing with this as the unlock method, you really don't know what to do. I've been getting all these questions. Philosopher, what about your top 10 list? What is your stock watch going to be? Who are the best characters to put red stars on? Should I take my Web Warriors Secure Tier 15? What about Dark Hunters? Do I need them too? And the simple answer is we do not know. We do not know. All we know, if we look at the blog, is we know that if we are looking here, it says all we know is that missions 5 and 10 require either Web Warriors or Dark Hunters. We know there won't be healing, so there'll be an advantage to having both. It may be that mission 5, Node 5, basically needs Web Warriors because the Dark Hunters won't do well, and it may be that Node 10 requires Dark Hunters effectively because there's tons of Elsas or something that screw their Web Warriors. We don't know. But we also don't know what missions 3, 4, 7, 8, and so forth look like. I've heard people tell me, oh no, there are the people of Datamine, it's heroes and villains, and there's different global, cosmic, and so on. I don't know whether that's the case or not. But then that means, of course, that for some of you, you're going to have to start gearing up a wider roster for other things. You may not be able to afford to go hard on your Web Warriors because you may need to, or your Dark Hunters, for example, because you may really need to make sure you have a global team, a strong global team, and you don't have it yet, or whatever it may be. So I think we're going to have to wait and see what this looks like. And for right now, I'm still in the mode of hoarding and waiting until I get more information about the Scourge event. As soon as the Scourge event comes into the game, or we get a data mine or data on MSF.gg that shows me what's on the nodes and what the sliders are for the different difficulties, then I can do an investment guide. Then I can do top 10 lists and all that. But until then, I really don't know what to do here, and I think players are still in the dark because we just know so little about the most important characters in the game. We know almost nothing about Apocalypse. We really don't even know what we need to do to unlock the legendary that is coming this patch for the first time ever in the game. All right, guys, I don't like this video. But if you like me or if you're angry, you can smash that like button and subscribe to this channel. You can also go and leave your anger or your happiness or whatever. You can tell me how wrong I am in the comments below. Or you can go to my Discord, which is linked below. You can also go to my Twitch stream, which is where these videos are made, and that is linked below too.